Hello gamers, I am here at PAX Unplugged 2019 and I am at the Amigo Games booth and I'm checking out their new game Carnival of Monsters, which is a new design by Richard Garfield, and I am here with Jeff from Amigo. Hello Jeff.
Hey Josh, nice to see you.
What can you tell me about Carnival of Monsters?
So Carnival of Monsters, you mentioned, is the new one from Richard Garfield. One of the neat things about it is there were 7 illustrators that worked on this game, a couple of whom actually worked on some of the original magic art with Richard Garfield. So there's as you mentioned when we were chatting before this started, there's a nice nostalgic piece to this. It's not only a great playing game, but there's that little extra element as well. So here's the story. This is a game in which the Royal Monsterological Society has one slot open, and you want to be the monstrologist who gets that slot. In order to do that, you have 1 year, comprised of 4 seasons in this game, to come up with the best menagerie of monsters, which you will then present to the society. The person who collects the most victory points, that's what we're looking for here, is going to get a chance to win the game. The gameplay is very simple. Let's take a look down at the board. You can see what we're doing. So this is something you can learn relatively quickly. Gameplay is going to take about 45 minutes to an hour, but it's a drafting game. The twist here is that you're not drafting to build a full hand, but rather you get to draft and play on each round. The idea is that you want to try and draft monsters, such as this one, or this one, which will earn you victory points. The catch is you have to visit exotic foreign lands in order to do that, and you have to have enough land points amassed in order to collect a monster from that land. So the game progresses with this drafting piece where if you're paying good attention, you can play both offense and defense as well. Because in fact, you watch the cards that go around and see what doesn't come back, and that gives you a sense for what your opponents are drafting and what their plans might be. You can play the cards immediately. If you want to keep your hand secret, you can pay some of these coins here. You can pay to be able to hold those aside. There are secret objectives that you can draft as well, so you'll get a chance to have something revealed at the very end of the game. It's going to increase your score dramatically. There are events that you'll have the opportunity to grab as well, and you'll be able to also find talented staff members. I thought we had one pulled out here, but we don't. But oh, here it is. You'll be able to find talented staff members as well who can help you, because some of these monsters are quite dangerous. So at the end of each hunting season, you will need to make sure that you've got those monsters caged and under control. You'll get some help from Royal Hunters, that applies to everybody, but you'll also need to have staff members as well as some points that you've collected in order to do that. So the game progresses. There are 4 different seasons in the game. There's 6 seasons total in the game. You're going to pull out 2, so you have a different mechanism going each time, and the object is to end up with the most victory points in the game. More than likely, you're going to have to take out some loans to pay for these expensive monsters, to cover your staff, to do all these different things you need to do. The challenge is, of course, that you have to pay off those loans before the game ends. If you wait until the game ends, there's a premium that you have to pay to get rid of those loans. So all of this comes together at the end. You total up your points, you add your multipliers from your secret objectives, look at the event cards. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into this calculation. So you're not even quite sure at the end who's leading until you announce it, and that's the person who becomes the next monstrologist in the Royal Monsterological Society.
I love that, so nobody can really stress about if they're winning or not. Everybody just has a good time, and at the end they find out who wins. That's great.
It's really a neat mechanic. It's a simple, elegant system, which is not a surprise from someone like Richard Garfield. And it's one that, as I said, you can learn to play relatively quickly, and it takes about 45 minutes to an hour, so it's something you can play pretty quickly as well.
That is awesome. I can't wait to check this game out. This looks really cool. And again, that is Carnival of Monsters from Amigo Games, designed by Richard Garfield. You can build your own carnival of mythical creatures, take out loans to fund your carnival. You control all of it. It is all up to you, the decisions you make and on how to go about your strategy to earn the points. So check that out. And thank you so much, Jeff, for showing us the game.
Gosh, my pleasure. It was great to meet you, and I appreciate the opportunity to show you.